Over 90% of the population in Australia live on the edge of the continent, by the sea, and they revel in it every day. Surfing's always been a big part of the culture here. Some of the greatest champions ever are from Australia. Surfers like Nat Young, Robert Bartholomew, Tom Carroll, and Mark Richards. For people who love the ocean so much, surfing is more than just a pastime. It's a way of life. For this look at the classic surf of Australia's east coast, we're going to get out of town and into the wild Australian bush to check out how the southern hemisphere seasons play a big part in the wave action. Remember, when it's summer in the United States, it's wintertime down under, but surfing in Australia is a year-round adventure. Summertime, November to March, Queensland, the most northern state of the east coast, is wide open to tropical cyclone swells. While the Great Barrier Reef blocks the surf in the far north, along Queensland's Gold Coast, cyclone swells form perfect waves at places like this, the world-famous Burleigh Heads. A crescent-shaped finger of land formed of smooth, round boulders, Burleigh Heads traps the sand, causing perfect banks for the long, hollow barrels. The border in northern New South Wales is Lennox Head, another boulder point that really turns it on in the cyclone season. A fickle spot that breaks perfectly only a few times a year, Lennox nevertheless ranks as one of the world's all-time great surf spots. When Burleigh Heads and its Queensland neighbor Kira are going off under cyclone swell conditions, it's a pretty good bet that Lennox too will be cranky. With 70-degree water and air temperatures soaring into the 90s, the conditions are as dreamlike as any surfer could ask for. At the midpoint of the New South Wales coast is Angowrie, a hooking, looping right-hand point break that works best when big south swells wrap around its rocky headland. The prime source of swell changes through the seasons. In the summer, it's the northern cyclones that produce the biggest and best waves. And in wintertime, May through September, it's the great Antarctic storms and the wild roaring 40s that generate the swell. Angowrie is a little slice of paradise, located perfectly to pick up swells from both directions, as Batea David and the Hot Buttered Surf Team found out on a recent expedition to sample these fabulous point break waves. South of Sydney presents a totally different experience to the traveling surfer. The so-called south coast of New South Wales is no longer the tropical or subtropical zone. Here the climate is cooler, the ocean a little less welcoming, although the coastline is as beautiful as anywhere in the world. Here the predominant waves come from the south, and Summer Cloud Bay, or Blackrock as it's often called, faces directly into the teeth of the southerly swells. In the changeable weather between shifts in the seasons, Blackrock is classic when wintry south swells are brushed smooth by summery northeast winds, producing waves so perfect that this place has become known as the Australian Pipeline. Just 4 hours drive south of Sydney, it's not surprising that Blackrock is a prime destination for city surfers whenever the conditions are right. Just another example of the incredible diversity of the surf along Australia's amazing east coast.